Hey guys, I'm Charles Neal. You know the number of times the emails and questions I get about using a die. Well, dies are different than stains. Most of your stains have what's called a binder in them. A binder is typically some sort of a finish or whatever. You know, for example, like an oil-based stain. It's got oil in it. And these things dry much slower and they're much more easier to work with. Dyes, on the other hand, dry really fast. And alcohol-based dyes dry much faster than water-based dyes. And I see guys, particularly when they got a large surface, they'll get out here with a little 2-inch foam brush because that's what they're used to doing with a stain. And they get out there and they just start kind of meandering along, brushing it on. Now the first thing you're going to notice already is the die is much thinner. But just the time it takes for you to load that brush, particularly in the summer when or you're in a hot room, where you can already see what can quickly happen. You start to get a patchwork. If you were trying to do this big table right here, this table is 42 wide, it's 8 foot long. If you were trying to do that with this little brush, you would no more get to a corner here than it's starting to dry. And the thing with a die is one coat does one thing, 2 coats do something else, unlike most stains. So to get it even is very difficult. These simply, unless you're doing a very small project, are not a good idea. An alternative is a stain pad, sometimes referred to as a wax pad. You can get them all over the place, from Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Woodcraft, everybody's got them. What it is basically is a terry cloth covered sponge, and it holds a tremendous amount of fluid. That's the key. The key to a die is get it on, get it off, get it wet. Get it all as wet as you, get it all wet as quick as you can, and get it right back. Don't play. Whatever your definition of haul freight is, this is where you want to do it. And you'll get a much more even die. But on something this size, beyond a shadow of a doubt, my favorite is spraying it. Now let me explain. You don't have to be overly super proficient to be able to spray a die and wipe it back. Now spraying a die as a final color, that can be a little bit different. But you can use a very economical, if you have a compressor, you can buy a little small gravity-fed spray gun. Sometimes you find them $10 and under. If not, you can pick up an economical, relatively, a little electric sprayer. Anything that will allow you to transfer the liquid and spray it. But here's the way you handle it. Again, quick on, quick off. Get it wet. The basic key to getting a good die is basically saturation. Get in, get out. Now before I do this, I'm going to let you know I should have a respirator on, but it's hard to do with that and talk without sounding like you're in a tunnel. But I've got a fan going and I got air moving, so I'm okay. And I'm just using the low pressure. Now, I'm getting what's referred to here as a dry spray, meaning I'm not getting really wet. So I'm going to open my fluid up. I want this baby wet and quick. see on the other side just how quick it's drying. And the one thing you're going to notice is that a die, when it dries, it has no luster, no sheen, so it looks really dead and dull. But your top coat is what will bring it back. And that, guys, is how you get down even, fast. Again, when it's wet, it's what it's going to look like when you put your top coat on it. Dyes are stronger than stains, and they do a really good job. It's not uncommon if I'm dyeing a case, I'm going to do one side, and then I'll do another and whatever. But you got to be careful, because as it dries, it's going to look like you missed a spot because it's so light. And your inclination is going to be go back and wipe it again. Don't. Again, one coat does one thing, two is going to give you double darkness. So be careful. It's going to be a pretty table. Just a quick note, this is a 3-board, heavy figured tiger maple. One of my favorites. Give dyes a try. Don't be intimidated. Again, quick on, wet, quick off. Catch you later.